Hi, I'm Ross Quintana with SocialMagnets.net, and this video is the third video in a series that I'm doing on how to use Twitter. So what we've done so far, if you've watched the first videos, is we've set up and signed up for Twitter in the first video. In the second, and created our profile. In the second video, we sent out our first tweet. We learned how to follow someone, and we also learned how to retweet. And in this video, what we're going to learn is what happens when people follow us back, and how do we interact with people and see what people are saying about us. So anyway, we're going to start off by I'm going to go to my Twitter account here to show you what happens. In our other Twitter feed, in the last video, you had followed me. And so now I'm going to show you how it looks to the person when you followed somebody. So if you followed me and I log into my account, I can go here where it says @connect up on top and see all of the new activities. And what I can see here is that here you are, right? I can see all of these right here are new people who followed me. And here you are right down here. It says new user. So you'll show up, it says, it has right here, new user, and I can see somebody that you followed me. Now the next thing that I can see is that you right here replied to me, I love this tweet. Now I can also see here that you retweeted my tweet, and it shows a little bit about which tweet it was that you retweeted and you shared. And then it also shows here that you favorited my tweet. So here's all the things you did in your account, and when I go to my activity, I can see all of these things right here that you've done, that you've added me as a friend, that you replied to me, so I can reply back to you. And I'll just click reply and say thanks. Okay? Now, I can also see that you retweeted me right here, and I can click on you, right? Now notice what this gives me, a chance to follow you. So I can take a look at your stats and see a little bit about you. You're a snowboarder, you love the outdoors, okay, great. And you just shared my information, so to say thank you and to be nice, I'm going to go ahead and click the follow button. I'm going to follow you back, okay? And then I can see that you favorited one of my tweets there. And again, I can click on your username, and with this drop-down menu, I can send you a message. So now that we're both following each other, I can send you a direct message or one that's shared out to everybody. So in this case, I'm going to send you a private message, because remember that these other messages, if I hit reply, everybody sees it. So in this case, I'm going to do a direct message. And so to you, I'm going to say, you are the best. Thanks for sharing my post. And I'm going to send that message. Okay, now it says what I said, and it has here. Now when you reply, your picture will show up here, and we get a little chat going back and forth. So I'm going to close that. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to sign out of my account, and I'm going to sign back in as the new user. Let's see, new user. Okay, so I'm going to go over here and grab the new username. Put in my password, because now I'm going to let you see what you get to see. And I hope that this kind of teaches you kind of how Twitter works. A lot of tutorial videos out there, they don't really show you from both sides what it's like when you're getting started, what other people see, and what you see. So here you can see right here that you've done 3 tweets. You were following one person, but now look, it says one person's following you. And these are the numbers that you're constantly going to be looking at when you're on Twitter, because the more people who you're following, the better chance you have to get more followers. Now it means that if I send out a tweet, I can say, yay, I got a follower. Okay? And I might say, you know, Twitter is the best. Okay? Now, when I tweet that, before when I was sending out a tweet, nobody was going to see it because nobody was following me. But now I know that whenever I send something out in my feed, this guy's going to see it right here. Now, if you're wondering who that is, you want to see who your followers are, you can just click on your followers and it shows me, right? Because you followed me and I followed you back, and it shows here that you're following me. Now, you can see the people who you're following, and you can see the people who are following you. And then you can go back to your home screen. So right now, you know that when you tweet, every one of your followers is going to get that in their stream. So now we did another thing, right? I sent you a direct message. Well, let's first go back here and see our activity now. @Connect shows us all of our activity. Now, what can you see? You can see that I replied to you when you said you love that post. I replied, thanks. Now, if I want to see, right, if I want to see the original message, I can click that little button that shows in response to, right? And that shows you the original thing you said, and then it says what I said back. So we can hide the conversation. But what we can see is if a whole bunch of people are saying, hey, thanks, and you don't remember what you told them in the first place, just click this little in reply to new user. It'll have your username, and you can see what you originally said. I love this tweet, and my response was thanks. So that expands that conversation, and you can start having a conversation. Now, here's the reply you saw to me. Now I can again reply to your reply, or I can tweet that and share that with my whole audience, or I can favorite it. But more importantly, up here I see other things like, oh, you can see that I followed you 4 minutes ago. So all the people who follow you, you can see right here. Now, some people will follow you who you haven't followed. And it's important to go through and follow those people back if you want to follow them. Because a lot of people won't follow you unless you're going to follow them back. So it's just important because it's a one-way conversation, just like us. We were tweeting to nobody. So people want to have people in their follower list so that they're tweeting to them. So this little section here @Connect shows all of your interactions, follows, retweets, anything. And then you can just see the people who've mentioned you. That's mentions. So everywhere where your username, which for me is new user 601-20730, shows up, anybody who's talking about me, they don't have to be talking directly to me. They could be talking about me anywhere on Twitter. And when I click the mentions button, anywhere my username's been used, it'll show up in this feed. And so if somebody said something but not directly to you, maybe they told somebody else, hey, you should really follow this person. They're really knowledgeable on sports. Then I could go back and reply to them and say, thank you for sharing my profile. And I can follow them and all that by clicking on their picture. So this is an important section here, this Connect. It lets you see all the things that are happening around your profile. Now remember, I sent you a direct message. You won't see that here. In order to see direct private messages, you go to your drop-down menu over here, and you see how it's highlighted? That means there's a message in there. So all I do is click direct messages. And what do you have right there? You are the best. Thanks for sharing my post. Okay? Now I can make a new message to send to any one of my the people who I'm following and who are following me back. Remember, you can only direct message people if you're following them and they're following you back. Now, that lets you set up a private conversation. Otherwise, if you want to get to know someone and they're not following you, you just have to reply to them and mention their name, their username, and hope that they want to follow you so you can have private chats too. So if I click this here, I can see our conversation. There it is, and I can respond back and say, thanks, I'm happy to meet you. Okay? Now notice it shows me right here, and that's what's going to show up in my direct messages over there. Nobody else will see this stuff, so you can speak privately. Now that being said, anybody can copy and paste it. The person who you're talking to knows what you said and could, if you said something really bad they didn't want, they could repost that. But generally, This is private conversation here, and you can go back and delete things that you want to delete too. So that's it for this time. Now we've learned how to engage. We've saw what a direct message is. We've saw our activity feed, and we've saw that we've made a full connection here. So now when we start tweeting things, those people will see it. So until the next video, hopefully this is enough to get you started. On our next video, we're going to talk about how to search for the right people, and we're going to get into the discovery to how to build your following list to a smart list that will get you into conversations with people that you want to talk to. Till then, subscribe to our channel and check us out on the web at socialmagnets.net, and down in the video responses will be our next video.